bad, but you don't have any recourse. You don't have a voice or any recourse. This is some positive things to think about.
Please.
Okay. Whenever they were fighting in the revolution, okay, and you get a knock on your door, okay, will you help us fight the mother country? How many people do you think said yes?
3%.
At least, or less. Okay. What I'm telling you is all we need is about 20%. If we had 20% of the country who would rebel, we could make an impact.
Well, I think we'd better
Can we
do
get
it.
20%? Maybe. Okay. The problem is, this is another problem we're having. The conservatives who say that, wait a minute, they're not the conservatives. They're the people who say they are conservative are fighting us. Why?
They're
Because
liars.
they are liars. They are part of the agenda. Charlotte always says their name. She knows more of them than I do. They're trying to discredit her right now, and other people that are working very hard, like in Louisiana, the people in Maine, the people in Missouri, the people in California, the people in Florida. We have people everywhere. I mean, we have a great national network, and then they send things out within their network. So, I mean, the information is getting out, trust me. But we have to expose these people that are trying to discredit what we're doing. And they're trying to push forward their agenda saying, oh, well, but we have to have choice, okay? We have to be able to move money around however we want.
Sure.
But they're not talking about the end result. Those little check marks, you know, and I've mentioned this before, this is the huge agenda for Medicaid, the mental health agenda, where schools will be able to bill for Medicaid. You want to talk about dollars that are going to be spent on this system in education?
Oh, yeah.
For every time a child looks out the window and they're not listening to their teacher, they have a mental health disorder. That's a DSM code on their permanent record that the federal government has. This is what we're talking about. So I'm going to say that people are waking up. It's a little late, but not too late. Let me just say that. It's not too late.
How long do we have, and how do I get the list of names so that I can put an investigator on every one of them and rat them out for everything they've ever done in their lives and ruin them publicly? And believe me, I will. How do I get the names?
You have Lamar Alexander. I mean, he's one of the main guys that's pushing the bill, okay? And he is like an education insider from way back. Okay, you have Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush is making a ton of money on charter schools, okay? Remember I said charter schools are public schools, unelected boards, for profit.
Yes.
Okay.
For profit. That's the key.
I'll tell you what, and he's running for president, we're going to go get him. Okay, let's talk about Hillary. Hillary Care, whenever I testified in 1995, the mental health agenda was her agenda. Don't you remember? It takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah, that's shit, that nauseating old gal.
Okay, well, what's nauseating is, remember when I said about Medicaid, this was the back door to nationalize education.
Sure.
Okay. 0 to 21, Medicaid agenda. Make sure everyone comes under Medicaid. So the big agenda is to move the whole healthcare system into the Medicaid system. This is Hillary, okay? Other big groups. The Heritage Foundation came out and said, hey, you know what? We want choice. This is basically what we want. Americans for Prosperity. I don't know. Charlotte knows them a lot better than me because I don't focus on them. I focus on the legislation.
Yes.
But they're out there, and they're fighting against us, these quote-unquote conservative.
The Heritage Foundation.
Yeah.
We've discussed this before.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with restoration of the Constitution or anything else, does it?
No.
As a matter of fact, it's the converse, isn't it?
Well, Charlotte will tell you they were the ones who drafted NAFTA.
Oh, there
that
you
was
go.
when all of our jobs went overseas. Okay. Whenever you bring Charlotte on next, you'll have to ask her about, well, I'm sure she's going to talk about that.
Good.
But we have really good people in every state.
How can we help you?
That are really fighting.
We want to help you. We want to get into this fight. Look, the Wells has come from, we've even got a city named after us in England. You can't be a city unless you have a cathedral. The good old C of E, you know. We live for the fight. That's what life is. Life is problems. Life is a fight every day of your life. Whether it's getting out of bed, you got pain, you do it anyway. You got a job, you got to do it. You got to feed your family, you got to feed yourself, so you do it. It's all a fight, people. The party's over. Do you get that, people? I love you, people, but I got to give you a little tough love here. The party is over. They are coming. The moron, idiot, barbarian, they're really savages in suits is what they are. They are tyrants. They are at the gates with their knock-knock battering rams. Do you understand what Anita Hoge is telling you or not? You better make your decision.
And they want your babies too. They want your babies too.
You all right with that, folks? I'm not. She's not. Are you? That's the question. This is just, I was pretty mellow this morning when I got up, but I'm not mellow now. We have to live for the fight. And this is a righteous fight. So one more time, how can we help you?
Well, first of all, we need to bombard the Senate and the House committees with phone calls. You call Lamar Alexander's office and demand that we have hearings, and also in the House, that the hearings actually go over the entire bill, not 14 pages in the bill, that we need to expose everything in that bill. We need to stop all the data and the violations of privacy. We need a HIPAA legislation. That's the Healthcare Portability Act, where it actually protects medical records. We need it to protect education records so that your person identifiable information isn't flying all over the place, okay, on your children and on your families. But we need to fight in our local district. Okay, we still have elected school boards. Some states don't. Some states eliminated those already, where your property taxes are also had gone to the state. Those states, they're struggling, I'll tell you that, because their representative government has kind of been demolished there. But there are certain things we can do. Now, in your state, you can go to some of the legislature and tell them they still have the power. They still have a states' rights power to not do Common Core. But tell them, do not fall for the neutered bills that don't do anything, okay? The neutered bills are the federal bills that come down and say, oh, the federal government cannot mandate Common Core. That's already on the books. It's your state that you have to go to. That's where we went yesterday.
All right.
You go to your state, you tell them about states' rights. You tell them about what's going to happen in Medicaid. You tell them how they're going to do it. Look at your grants. If you would go to Charlotte's website, ABCs of Dumb Down, Google ABCs of Dumb Down, and put Christmas, my Christmas present will come up where you can find your grant to your state. There's a link to every state so that you can get your grant that set up a unique national ID for every person in your state, birth to retirement. It's in every state.
This is not good, people. Not at all.
Okay, so they already have the database to monitor you. They just need to get all the information. Now, can we get a hold of some of these teachers? Your old teachers out there are fighting this, okay? Because they're being, quote unquote, retrained to do the behavioral. And they don't like it, okay? Because they know it's not right. They know it's not right, and they want to teach your kids, okay? They want to teach them reading. They want to teach them real math, not this crazy stuff going down. So we need to get the teachers, the conservative I won't even call them conservative, your older teachers who have been trained to really teach your child on our side. We need to contact them. We need to contact our school boards and say, do you realize that we're moving to a state diploma or a national diploma? When I was on radio this morning in Tennessee, they were the pilot for a national diploma. I mean, I read their grant briefly this morning before I went on radio. And of course, that's Lamar Alexander's state, where they're really pushing the entire agenda. But yeah, I'll tell you what, we're a long way down this road and everyone's asleep. It's time to wake up.
Yes, ma'am. Anita Hoge, you're a treasure. We'll stay in touch. If anything breaks and we haven't reached out to you, if you get to the phone before we do, Please sing out and let us know what's up, and we'll get you back
Okay,
on
great.
as soon as the sun comes up.
Okay.
We might even just do it with moonlight or no moon, but as long as you're on the program.